with Senator Jack Reed, the chairman of the Senate Armed Service Committee, always gracious in giving the Coalition Radio Network a few minutes of his time to do a little deeper dive on the situation in Jordan. First of all, there's a lot of saber rattling politically that's taking place in D.C. A lot of people are using pretty aggressive language, including the Senate Minority Leader, in terms of taking aggressive on-the-ground action against Iran. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we have to take action against Iran or their surrogates so that this does not happen again. We've already taken very severe action against the Houthis because they were interfering with international shipping, and they are also a surrogate of Iran. There also has to be a conscious recognition that to escalate this conflict into a broad, all-out war in the Middle East would not be productive. In fact, one of the ironies is that many of the same people who were calling on an attack on Iran were calling on an attack on Iraq. And our entry into Iraq did more or as much to empower Iran as anything else in the last 20 years. So I would be careful about taking advice.
From the very same people. The Hashemite kingdom has been an ally of the United States literally for generations. Do you worry that there is somewhat, I would almost call it a neutral role is in danger here when you start to see terrorist attacks being generated in their direction?
Well, the difficulty in the Hashemite kingdom is the majority of Jordanians are of Palestinian extraction, and they are livid about the incidents in Gaza.
Right.
And King Abdullah, who's one of our staunchest allies, is very much concerned about the political rhetoric on the streets and in many places. He is caught literally in the middle between Israel, and Jordan has good relationship with Israel, and the treatment of the Palestinians. That's one reason why we've been urging the Israelis to increase their humanitarian assistance dramatically, to be more precise in their operations,
right,
so that they are not sending a message that incites the crowds in Jordan and elsewhere.
Netanyahu, on the other hand, is also saber-rattling to the extreme now when he starts to use, I guess in Washington we call them dog whistles, about ending or the usefulness of the two-state solution, the dual-state solution. Is the dual-state solution, is that dead?
Well, if it is, then I can't imagine another pathway. The Palestinians have for years been trying to establish themselves. It was a memorable occasion when the Oslo Accords were signed and we were working towards a two-state solution. I think it's the outcome we have to have. And to the extent that Netanyahu is denying that, he is causing more, I think, harm than good. And then also with Netanyahu, it's very difficult to separate his personal difficulties and personal wishes from protection of the Israeli state. And he is, I think, being criticized internally in Israel for some of the things he's doing.
And just finally, Senator, the alert status of the American Armed Forces now, do you anticipate additional resources being brought to bear in the Middle East? Are we on a global alert? And I guess how close are we to a true global war right now?
No, we are in a situation in the Middle East where we have two carrier groups there, which provides us extremely effective response abilities. We also have ships that are protecting the flow of goods through the Red Sea. We have one Marine MEU there. We're not, I think, talking about increasing our military presence. It's significant. What we're talking about is using our resources, which are very sophisticated, to send a very clear message to the Iranians and their proxies that they cannot conduct these activities against us.
Senator Reed, as always, thank you for your insight.